Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a tank review or a replay review this morning. I hope everybody's doing fine, has a good day. It's a rainy morning today as I do this video. We have a new submitter, Slabski from Clan Cliff in his CS52 LIS. He is here on Steepsdorf. He's on steps in his CS52 LIS. Sent me this replay and said, hey, how do I do better? Man, that's a great question. That is a great question. It is the question du jour and just about anybody's view of a replay that was a loss. How do I do better? How do I turn this into a win? Is it possible? All that good stuff. Sometimes the answer is not in this universe, right? It just went so poorly that it was going to be hard to bring it back from the brink, right? Multiple people on your team would have had to done multiple better things in order to win, and your one contribution was probably not going to bring it back. But you have a good number of games. Some people say it's 30 to 40%, however you want to look at it. If you figure that even a 60% player has 40% of the games that they didn't win, there has to be some things we can do better in some of the closer games and maybe pull some of those out into wins. So the question becomes then, what are those things? What is the thing or things, if there's more than one, that turn a neutral game into a win, right? And at what point do the scales tip? At what point do the scales tip? I am generally over-aggressive in this game. We got a Sioux SM coming out here. I have tried to dial it back to carefully aggressive, but whether you're super aggressive, carefully aggressive, whatever, there are points in the game where you need to follow up advantage. And if you follow up advantage, sometimes aggressively, sometimes carefully aggressively, then you can further tip the game in your team's favor. So far while I've been yappity yapping, Slabski has been sniple pixel. Sniple. I just created a new word, sniple. That's when you're trying to snipe the pixel. He's been snipling. I love it. Sniple. He's a sniple over here, all right? Not a sniper, but a sniple. He's been picking at pixels, attempting to do, I think, what a lot of players do, kind of sit back and I'm in the vicinity of the fight. I'm getting my damage or some damage. I'm getting some spotting, and I'm preserving my votes. I've got my hit points. And this is, I would say, what you see from a large portion of the game players, large portion of the community. And it tends to work. You get in these hold down spots, you do not expose your tank, you only shoot when you have a good shot, and you attempt to not take any return fire. Problem with that is if you allow opportunities to pass by while you're doing it, opportunities to leverage an advantage, then all you're really doing is sitting in the back. All you're really doing is, even if you're doing a little bit of damage. So taking a look at how this game is developed, it's fairly even still. They're up by one tank. Now notice that the CS53 made a move on the TN105-1000 that was overextended and cleared him out of that spot, opening up that spot for the rest of the team. Notice that we have a couple sniperinos back here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 other tanks, 5 counting Slabski, and there's not much on the other side. Right at this moment, there is an advantage being created on this flank on the east side. The rest of the team is attempting to push in and follow it up. Now, you can YOLO into strong positions and die. So just because you killed a few tanks doesn't mean it's time to just push in. And they took some hits getting that territory right there. We're looking for the Revelorisa over there. But they start to create a bit of an advantage positionally. The other side is holding for the minute. Now, the other side's a problem. We need to watch that. There's only 2 tanks over there right now. There's an ISU camping. But if this match is going to go to a win, if we're going to push this one off the win cliff, it's going to happen on our overmatch up here in the northeast. And we sort of let that just go by. We have a nice fast tank. We can get around if we need to. We just kind of watch those guys push in. Yep, they lose a few, but they're doing a good battle over there, and we bail out. You know, I talk a lot about not pushing into campers. I would say really right now what they're trying to do is just clear that flank. They're not really pushing up and over right now. But we bail out and we're going to go over here. And I thought, well, okay, there's one possible advantage that we kind of gave up on. We didn't really help our team follow up. We got some damage. We bail out. We do have a situation developing on this other flank. And I'm thinking, all right, he's going to push up and get a little bit closer and do some damage. And what Slapsky does is he gets up on a sniper hill. So a very leaning towards very careful kind of move. Vice getting up there, getting hold down closer in where he can really start adding his firepower into this 703. This 703 version 2 does a really nice job. There's two IS-3As here. He kills one of them. The other one's on pretty good hit points. Then we find the Tiger 2, but we don't have a shot. And what have we done, right? The gun has not sang for I don't know how long now, a couple minutes. And look what's happened over on the other side where we could have been helping. The team has done a really nice job over there. And just imagine your gun is busy over there. You haven't done anything here yet. They've blunted this attack pretty well. It's going to be good that you're here in just a minute, but just imagine had you pushed into that flank up there and helped them. Right? See that overmatch, then we just kind of shoot here. And we're hanging out back here. It's going to be hard to hit. It's hard to pick out where we want to shoot. All right, where you're aiming right there, just as a small technical aspect, that's a pike nose. So if you're not aiming at the middle, and I realize that the rock is right there, but you're hitting on the other side of the pike nose, that's going to be a really good angle for the IS-3 to bounce that shot. You're going to have a hard time. So we hang out here, we shoot again, and we haven't done anything, right? So the winning move, the first winning move was to help your guys push in and kill where you were winning over there, where you were starting to create an advantage. So now we're over here. The second winning move was to get over here and get in there and help that 703 fight so he doesn't die. There's an ISU, there's you, there was a 703, but we're just back here in a bush sniping away. IS-3 backs out. And then I'm thinking, all right, so there's two options for helping the team. What do we do now? For me, I go back to the northeast and I help those guys out. Or push in and track down that near-dead IS-3A. Oh, by the way, the LIS is a one-shot. Now, fortunately, he just wanders out in the open and dies to you. And right there, it's go, 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 get the IS-3A. He's exposed. He's a one-shot to you. You got to get rid of him and get back over and help your buddies over there. Or if they get rolled through, get back to the cap. I think I would have immediately backed off once I shot that LIS because you had to know you were going to get spotted on that one. So I'm thinking, oh great, he is going to actually push straight in there and we're going to get rid of this IS-3A. Because what we have now is a situation where you've got two of your tanks against one of theirs and they've got four, now four against two of yours. You have to clear this flank off. You've got to get rid of this guy as soon as possible. I probably would have buzzed right across here. But again, we're very careful, so we just kind of sit here and we look for a shot. There we go. All right, so we got it. Good. We got lit. We back way out. Way out. And I think maybe you're thinking you're going to come around the wide way here, so that's not a bad idea. For me, I don't like that angle. You know why? Well, first of all, I'm about to run into this rock. Also, as I fade away this way from that V, he sees me more. If you cut across in that direction, you cover up against that terrain right there much faster. So you actually exposed yourself more by doing it that way had you gone straight across. I think you might have been thinking about distance for spotting, but I think he would have seen you either way. And he was backing out. Plus, it's a very derpy gun. It was probably a pretty calculated success rate to just go straight across there. But I do like this. You push in here and find him. You find him trying to get away, and we just little snapperino there. That's fantastic. All right, now what? So we've had several breakpoints. Push the flank and help them out would have been good because look what they've done over there, right? Then you could have come back and dealt with this. Once you came over to the cap, get in there and help them win that flank. A little bit more aggressive push on the IS-3, but you got him, right? Now what? Well, now it's time to get... I don't know why you pushed into the backfield here. I'm trying to understand this, all right? So take a look at what you have going on. the KR, it's very unlikely the G-Sor is very far away from the KR. He's showing 100% hit points. He's had a heyday sitting in that bush back there. He's not very far. So I don't know if you thought you were going to come all the way around behind him or what here, but that was just going to take too long, and down goes that guy. For my money, I go straight back across the back of the cap and come back up this way, and hopefully the ISU follows me up with that nice big gun. Then I get out in front and start getting some spotting. But he's following you, right? He doesn't want to get out alone. T-34 is doing the best he can. He ends up dying over here. So we head back in, and I think maybe you sort of realize it. Now we come back across, but unfortunately now we're just out in the middle of everything. We're going to speed this up because it takes you a while. We cross all the way back over here. We don't want to be out in the open with a G-Sor, with the KR backing him up. So we come all the way around here, and then this was curious to me. We get into the cap here. For my money, I think you really should have headed back up into here to get some height. There's a bunch of good spots to kind of hide out back there. Maybe you thought they would be there too soon and might shoot you in the side, possibly. So we just kind of hang out here. ISU's in the middle. He's doing his best to try to back up what you're doing, but we're being extremely passive right here. So now we're getting to, I think, the fourth or so possibility here, because what we do is we just really let guys get away from us. We take a shot in the KR, he backs out, and then the ISU just absolutely loses its mind. I don't know if he got a little bit tired of what you were doing or felt like maybe it was a good move to get up a little closer and maybe he could sneak a shot in on him right there on the side and nuke one of these guys. The KR is about a one shot, but once he's spotted, you have to know the G-Sor's after him. So we come out here very tentatively, sort of look for a shot here. And oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed that, but the G-Sor shots were coming from your right. There he is right there. We get a shot on him. Now we're looking for another shot if we can. Now at this point, it's prioritizing. I have to get rid of the KR if I can. I may have to give up some hit points. I don't want to give up too many, and I don't want to be out in the open for a 4-shot G-Sor. That's just not a good idea at all. But if I have an opportunity to get rid of the KR, I will do so. So we back out of that. We turn around. This is not a bad idea. I like where we head here. I'm just going to speed this up. We come all the way. Well, we go there for a second, and then we think better of it. This is probably about the best fighting position you're going to find right now. You do have some lower ground here. All right, so you got to go kill that guy. So we give it a shot. Oh, okay. So unlucky, right? But we have to get rid of him because you know the G-Sor is charging hard. The G-Sor also knows he doesn't want to lose the KR. He's probably fairly confident that even if he pops out in front of you and stands toe-to-toe, he wins. But he'd really like to not have the KR dead before he gets in there and engages. So for me, I would have absolutely backed off, turned around, went down low, and looked for that KR as soon as possible. Really had to get rid of that guy. There he is. Yeah, and we bounce. So now we know the G-Sor's over there, and he's sort of wandering around, not charging hard. Fantastic. Come around this way and go after this guy. I don't want to sit here because if he gets up into that high area right there, I think where you just were, then you're in trouble, right? So you realize that, you back out. Turning around. We come around here, and the KR, I'm not really sure why he does this. He shouldn't even be trying to come around this corner at all. He should be backing up and let the G-Sor. Man, there is zero reason to rush that shot. The G-Sor's up on the hill. He's not going to get a shot. So what if the KR gets one in on us? Right? This is the trading thing I'm talking about. Stop, aim right in, and make sure you get rid of that guy. And it may have been a case like, whatever, KR armor, I got him. In this case, just let him shoot you. Who cares? Just aim it nice in on the bottom plate and just take that guy down because you had to get rid of that guy. And then we back out. All right, what I would do here instead of this is turn my hole to the left, do a little side scrape with this KR. Maybe I get a bounce, but I probably just stand in and let him hit me again because I need him gone. And that was... You tried to sneak one in, got unlucky right there. Again, you needed to get in there and get rid of this guy. And we have zero chance now because the G-Sor's charging in. We're still trying to play peek-a-boom with this guy. All right, when this kind of thing happens, your best bet is just to charge the KR and try to get around the corner. Who knows? The G-Sword is not really that agile. He's just charging at you right now. Probably shoot you in the back and kill you. But you need to isolate your threats. You can't be trying to take on both of these guys right here. That was a bummer that she didn't actually hit him. And now he just owns you. Backing up isn't going to do anything. All right, man. 1,896. Look at all the gold those guys are finding. Jeez, everything is gold. Holy cow. 1,896, 782 assists right there. I think there were probably about 4 places in there we discussed where you could have been a little bit more aggressive and tried to push an advantage. And really, when it comes to close games like that, like this one right here, that's what it is. You know, just not recognizing when it's time to push an advantage. And sometimes those trying to push those advantages will go south. Sometimes they will. But if you can leverage an advantage the rest of your team has created and create a bigger advantage, that's how the Rompel Stomps and the Avalanches start in this game. I hope that helped, man. Let me know what you think down below. Everybody else, if you have any other advice for Slabski from Clan Cliff and his CS52 LIS, go ahead and chuck it down there in the comments. That's all I've got for today. We will see ya.